All right, bow. We live. How y'all feeling, fellas?
What it do, man?
Yes,
What's
sir.
good with you?
Yes,
Everything
sir.
good, man.
Once again, we back. Collection plate in the building for another week, man. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Happy
Yes, sir.
Mama Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Hell yeah. What y'all had cooking up for Mother's Day today, man? What did y'all do?
See, I ain't do too much of nothing, man. Just woke up, pretty much got my shit together.
Today was interesting. Talking to all my friends that lost a mother.
Word.
And being able to relate and speak encouraging words to one another about, how proud they would be of us.
Facts.
How we enjoy the time here. Because if you lose your mama, that kind of like reminds you of mortality.
Yeah, it reminds you like any day now, it could be your time.
We all on borrowed time, so it was a blessing to be able to reach out to. For some reason, like a lot of my partners have experienced the same thing. And the latest was my cousin, and I talked to him and his brother yesterday. Went down a little bit of memory lane and tried to remind them that the bad is kind of the negative part we hold on to in grieving, right? And the only medicine is laughter for me.
Facts.
I had to think about things that made me laugh, things that me and my mom shared, things we enjoyed. And my favorite memory of my mama was, aside from all the great things growing up, all the wonderful gifts, Christmas, birthdays, and all that, but as an adult,
right,
the memory I had that always give me a chuckle the first time me and my mama smoked perk together. And I didn't tell her that I had rolled up the perk. She thought it was some mid.
You hit her with the granddaddy.
Oh, man, that's some of that good granddaddy, too. And I had rolled it up and passed it to her, whatever. She choked on that shit like a motherfucker and got down. Was like, Jay!
You got to warn her, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so that was that moment always tickled me, you know what I'm saying? When I think about my roadie, you know what I'm saying? So
that was up. Mom, you'd be surprised. I think about your mom, not in a negative way, but I think about your mom more often than you think, bro. Just because her musical selection is the reason why we have some of the hits we have today. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, when I ran across that Paul Hardcastle that I sampled for the tithes and offering, and you told me Mom Dukes used to love that song, I was like, bro, that's how I know.
Right.
And what's crazy is that Tithes and Offerings was the #1 song on my Spotify for like 3 weeks in a row, bro.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? So shout out to your moms for that, bro.
Shout out to Dukes.
And shout out to everybody who ain't got a mama to celebrate with. And shout out to everybody that do. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully our relationship is good enough to where y'all spend some time today.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to everybody with an auntie and a grandma or a big cousin that even stepped up. That stepped up for those roles. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So appreciate all y'all.
So I guess first things first, the NBA playoffs is jumping off. We was just talking about that. So all my hopes and dreams seem to have withered away with the hamstring injury. So, it is what it is, man. Golden State looking like they might not win no more. And I'm just sad about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I need Steph to get one more, man. But what are the standings looking like right now? What we looking like? I know we got Cleveland and Indiana, Boston and New York, Minnesota and Golden State, and who the other team? Nuggets and who?
OKC.
OKC. All right. So who's up? Who's down? Who y'all predicting to go all the way?
Oh, man,
it's hard to say, really.
I like Ant right now.
Ant-Man.
I like Ant right now.
In the West.
So he his daddy's son.
That West is tough.
The West is tough. You know what I mean? But I think he's showing that he's surging towards
greatness.
The greatness. You know what I mean? Like everybody else is good. But see, I'm still waiting to see what Sha gonna do.
Right.
Because he still has the opportunity to step up against Joker and them. But
and the thing about him is he got a squad around him. And I don't know if his squad is deeper than Minnesota's squad, but I do agree with you about Ant. So I mean, I don't know. I'm with you on that.
Right.
I don't really have a rebuttal with that at all.
All right, man. Joker gonna do his thing. I mean,
for sure.
He is they are the champs. So
I
mean, you can't just omit them and what they done and what they're capable of, because once you cross the threshold, you got a certain pedigree.
Yeah.
So you are not shy in the moment. You know what I mean?
Well,
So
the defending champs are the Boston Celtics, so we'll take it there.
Excuse me. Rewind.
Yeah. The defending champs are the Boston Celtics.
Run
so
that back. My bad.
And they ain't looking too good.
The last team that won in the West.
Yeah, the last team that won in the West. You are correct. And last year's champions aren't looking too good this year against New York, which is kind of scary.
And what I'm noticing is a trend where these days the leagues be so talented, it's hard for a team to win more than 1 year in a row.
Back to back, yeah, man.
That and free agency.
Facts. That too.
Yeah. That money young.
Facts.
Money talks.
Well, if let's say Golden State pulls this out, does that change the way that history remembers Jimmy Butler?
Well, that means Draymond predicted something for one, because Draymond already said they're going to win the championship earlier this season.
Facts.
Yeah, on the acquisition of,
and that was before.
But that's pending upon Mr. Curry being available. So it's a different game when he not out there. You know,
sure
Buddy Hield does his best,
right?
But I don't think Buddy Hield's even Klay Thompson at the height.
He could grow into that though. He has moments where he showed hella promise. But yeah,
I don't think he's that strong on the defensive end.
That's the thing about him. He's not a two-way player.
Right.
Nowhere close to where the two-way player that Klay Thompson is. You're right about that.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
He's a shooter.
Right.
Well, you know me. So I write these headlines down as they come to me throughout the week. And so the first thing I noticed this week was that the Sony PlayStation Store was being sued for price gouging and blocking third-party sellers. So basically, there are other game creators that are looking to sell their games on the Sony PlayStation platform, but PlayStation is either overcharging them to get in the PlayStation Store or not putting them in the PlayStation Store at all. So the total value of the lawsuit is estimated to be $7.9 billion.
Mm-hmm.
And if you took part in the PlayStation Store anytime between August 2016 and August 22, you might be entitled to compensation. How does that make y'all feel?
Wow.
Yeah. Definitely wow.
It's the option of, you know what I mean? Like, right. You can buy any type of game system, but if you choose to go through PlayStation, it is what it is. They can set the terms of their organization or their company, you know what I'm saying? Like, if that's what you want, then these are the terms to get down,
Facts. I think the thing that shocked me the most is, because we coming from a background of music, rapping, you know what I'm saying? Like doing what we do. And we have our certain obstacles and hurdles that we run into. But I guess to me, it's very eye-opening to know that even no matter what genre you're coming from as an independent thinker, it's always a machine that's just trying to make sure you don't get your information out there. And I just feel like that's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. My other thing is, are they able to do any privacy issues? Are they able to pry a little bit into your information as well?
Well, I'm pretty sure once the moment you sign up for any of these gaming companies and you give them your payment information, they got everything. They got everything they need at that point.
Right.
Which is why I think Sony was blocking out the third party gaming people, because it's like, we want the data. We don't care about the games. We want all the data to ourselves.
Oh, so it's like with the game stick with 100 games on it, and
right.
Those are the parties they're talking about.
Well, not necessarily. It's just people that don't work for Sony or PlayStation that make video games, and they're trying to get their video games. They either have relationships or have built relationships to where they can have their games put on the PlayStation Network store.
Right.
But the network
game developers,
PlayStation themselves, is like, fuck y'all. They're telling them we're gonna do it, then they overcharging them for doing it, but then they're not actually putting them out.
So if you ain't EA with a relationship,
right, or Tekken or somebody like that, because I am a PlayStation Plus member and I do scroll through the store on a monthly basis, and it is a lot of only just like Sony developed games on there. There ain't too many other options to choose from.
Right.
So they pretty much this is probably the last of the monopolies that I've ever heard of these days, because they everybody hates so much on everybody else. It's hard to get a monopoly on anything.
Right.
So to hear that Sony has been price gouging and cock blocking for third party developers, hopefully this lawsuit, shifts that balance like we was talking about last week with
Back
Drake's
to
lawsuit. Shift that balance back to the creators.
Exactly, because I feel like that's wrong for the creators to have to go through that. Like the game developers that already had those platforms and they're able to put those games out. Why don't you go ahead and pay them, especially if they have a lot of consumers taking those games in, subscribing to their platforms and following them? Right. Ain't that what this monopoly is all about?
Well, 48 Laws of Power, man. Find a way to take credit.
Facts.
I think, and that's where a lot of these companies are not willing to play ball with the IP, with the value of the IP and the value of what it is they bring to the table. It's like, we got the money, you got the game. Right. And we're not going to put your game on blast if you're not going to let us take credit for it.
You're the small fish.
You understand what I'm saying? So, but as a creative myself, I understand the rage against the machine. But also as a creative, I understand the lack of success without it.
Right. Facts. The artist versus the machine.
Yeah, facts. Man. Age-old story, man,
Right.
So, but I just thought that was crazy. And $7.9 billion for everybody to be running around screaming that there's no money in music, there's no money in entertainment. Y'all surely is suing for a whole lot of money these days.
They want it.
7.9 billion, bro. I got to see if I qualify to get in on that.
I wonder how much the video game business is estimated, just as a total.
Man, they probably could build a whole other earth off of gamer money.
Yeah,
man. All the Marios that we don't
play. You know what I'm saying? Like all those years of gaming.
GTA that these kids playing.
Come on, bro. We've been on GTA for over a decade.
Come on, man. And that's
the same one.
The same one.
That's us. Imagine our kids and they kids, because that GTA gonna go on forever. Super Mario, when the last Super Mario came out?
Right, true. But they always take Super Mario to another level. Every time they want to get debut a new game,
it's another one coming out on Nintendo Switch too.
Yeah, I'm about to say they give you another Mario
because Mario been out since our parents.
Right,
that's the thing.
Right.
That 87.
Facts. I also saw this week that Texas is one of the first states, Texas and California, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's just Texas. Texas has already started doing long haul routes with driverless 18-wheelers. And they're claiming that these trucks have up to 4 football fields worth of vision. But yeah, they've already went ahead and employed the whole fully automated thing. So they got fully automated warehouses where there's not one human being that works in there. There's a robot that picks the order and puts it on the pallet. There's another robot that wraps the pallet. There's another robot that loads it on the truck loader. Then the truck loader automatically loads the pallets into the back of the truck. And that is every single aspect of the warehousing job being shut down by AI.
That's crazy.
Technology, man.
I'm going to just say dangerous, like the song Michael Jackson. Just go ahead and look up the lyrics to Dangerous, man. That's basically what you just described.
No, that's what he was talking about? I always thought Dangerous was about a bitch, man. I ain't going to lie to you, bro. I be singing my ass off.
I just knew it was about a woman.
Damn, all right, you going to make me go look that up for real.
Dangerous. Man. Everything you just described sounds like Michael Jackson to me.
I mean, it's the inevitable, right? It's the inevitable part of technology.
Yeah.
Technology's quest is to simplify and remove error, right?
Yeah.
Because humans are the only thing prone to error. As far as in the machine eyes. So it's it's sad because now it's like, what do you tell somebody that was they just went to school for that? Now that doesn't hurt the elder people that's been a part of the business, you know what I mean? That made their livelihood.
But ain't no future money in it.
But exactly right. So
no way to capitalize.
What do you tell a kid that was like, I'm finna sign up and go to school for this? Well, you might want to go to school to get information technology, so you know how to run that warehouse from home, because that's what it sounds like it's going to be, or be able to fix the robots. You know what I'm saying?
So the only jobs is really about to be available is IT. Either you know how to program these fully automated systems, you got to know how to monitor them, or you got to know how to fix them. And the only person that they're probably ever going to need on site is somebody who's qualified enough to do all.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Moving on from that, I have been seeing all week long where, we're going back to basketball a little bit, but why does Kobe Bryant get skipped in the GOAT talk? Like, we compare LeBron to Mike, but if anything, you know what I'm saying? Like, Kobe name need to be solidified, especially with the RIP attached to it, is like, how do we manage to keep skipping Kobe in the GOAT debate?
I don't know how people do it. It's amazing to me. To me, Jordan is uncomparable, bro.
Facts, but Kobe is the closest thing to
But
Jordan
is the closest.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder,
Yeah.
right?
Facts.
So it's according to what your eyes saw. Like being an 80s baby, we watch
I
the
definitely
ascension
watched.
of Michael Jordan.
Right.
So our attachment to Mike is different.
It's
Yeah.
sentimental.
90s kids grew up on Kobe Bryant,
Facts.
the ascension of Kobe. And the 2000s babies, they grew up on LeBron.
But we seen all of that. The 80s
We're
babies,
blessed.
the
I mean,
80s
yeah.
babies witnessed all of that.
So
That's what I'm saying.
Even speaking of the GOAT conversation, right? Because me personally, I don't think any of them are who they are without the player before them.
Facts.
Yeah,
Without
like the Bill Russell.
without you being in the room
Will Chamberlain,
watching these
yeah.
players as a child
That's
Right.
true.
and going outside and emulating.
Because Jordan said his guy was Dr. J.
Yeah,
Right.
Dr. J.
You know what I'm
the
saying?
Elgin
So-
Baylor's,
Dr. J said Elgin
George,
Baylor. You feel what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so it's a never ending
Yeah.
thing. You know what I'm saying?
Of
We're
course.
all influenced by those that did it before.
Mhm.
Facts.
You know, we all look to improve upon what we saw before us. You
That's
know what I'm
right.
saying? So, yes, it's difficult to say anybody's the GOAT, to be honest with you. You can say your top 10.
Right.
You can say a
Can.
top 15, you know, the
Can.
top 100, top 50. That's more realistic about, you know, acknowledging the input of all these different people into this game we love. You know what I mean? It's like even Isaiah Thomas. That's another one that gets omitted out of greatest point guard conversations.
True.
And, you know, and he's the only one that swept Jordan.
yeah.
Isaiah was a dog, and he had people around him that was beating Jordan ass too at
Facts.
the same time.
Facts.
So,
So Chuck Daly did come up with a phenomenal game plan to slow him down, but those were the
Yeah.
days where
you
Mike
can
felt
get
like
your
it's
ass
all
beat.
me.
Right.
That's
Right.
the
That's
reason
where he
why
was
they
taking
beat
shit
him is
personal.
because he
Yeah.
took it like I'm going to win and not get my team together. So you know,
yeah,
shout out to when it all switched and he understood, and the team understood the assignment. You know,
Yeah.
not just Mike working out for 12 months a year. The team decided in order for
Yeah.
us to beat them.
because as far as Chicago had a chance. They had to find a way to get over Detroit
Right.
because Detroit was a huge ass mountain for them
Right.
back in the days.
Right.
I feel that.
Or just think about the Lakers, right? Losing to the Boston Celtics 8 times in a row.
Yeah, that's crazy.
In the final.
That's terrible.
That's crazy
Yeah.
work.
You know what I mean? How depressing. Like even seeing Jerry West on the Showtime show is like, dang, bro, like that really would irk me every day of my life.
Yeah, that's
That's
some shit
terrible.
that would keep you up at
Like
night.
I would really despise the colors green and white.
I'll
For life.
take it to the NFL. Like witnessing the Bills go to the fucking Super Bowl all the
4
years to
times
get
in a row.
smacked, bro.
Yeah,
like
4
that's
times in a row.
crazy, bro. Like I feel a lot of franchises. I feel y'all pain, man. And I think that's the reason why I went to school. I'm going to school too for this shit too, man.
Facts. And shout out to you for making sure you get through that school.
Oh yeah, I'm
'cause,
going.
that knowledge is power, bro. And the knowledge you bring it back to the camp, bro, I'll tell you, it ain't a price you can put on that. So,
Oh, yeah.
you know, shout out to you for continuing
Yeah, I
to
appreciate you.
be
Bro.
diligent on that, man.
Amen.
I appreciate you, bro.
So also I was seeing that basically 100 miles within the US border, all around the United States. Think about that. So you got the border of the United States.
Mhm.
From that borderline within 100 miles in, it been reported that the Border Patrol pretty much has martial law. It's
martial
lawlessness within 100 miles of the United States border. So we talking warrantless searches, seizures. We talking about, you know, abductions, all kind of shit going on.
Purge.
Within,
basically.
yeah.
You see
That-
on Purge.
so with it already being confirmed that it's like that for 100 miles and out to the border, what's to stop that influence from coming even
Inward. More
closer
inward.
and the whole United States
Mhm.
being taken over like that?
Nothing, because it's already implemented within the borderline of the United States of America.
Yeah,
So
'cause
it's
they let them
already
go crazy out there, man.
Well, I mean, as citizens, we got to follow the Constitution, right?
you better
You got,
believe.
you got to go by the
You
rules
better
and the
believe.
regulations. So
Yeah, but the rules and the
Believe it.
regulations was supposedly made with everybody's best interest at heart. So The government is supposed to work for us. So when the government becomes the government that we wanted to get away from over there in England initially, it's supposed to be worked into the Constitution that we can overthrow them. But we all know at this point, ain't no overthrowing these crackers. We just gonna have to let them kill themselves.
You're gonna have to deal with them.
I mean, control is control, right?
It's horrible.
They're going to continue to keep themselves in a position where the haves and the have-nots.
Yeah, man.
You know, it's a Republican. Well, to me, it's a capitalistic kind of thought pattern. Where
Yeah, it is.
everything is based on information.
So,
and if you are in the
control.
know, you know how to charge people. You know how to tax people. You know how to get the capital. If you don't know, then guess what? You get charged.
Yeah.
So is communism and socialism really as bad as they try to make it out to be? Because before I knew anything about politics, just growing up as a kid, I thought like being a communist was like a bad thing. But then I looked it up. It's like people who believe in the community, people who put the community first. You know what I'm saying? I think black people as a whole are communists. And socialists because of how we tend to thrive and how we do things. But
amongst each other.
Is it because of the white man not wanting us to know about these things and trying to just paint them in a bad light? You know what I'm saying? Like, how does that make y'all feel? Like, what do you think the real right way is? Because we all see capitalism as just fucking niggas left and right, but we have yet to explore communism. We've yet to explore socialism, and I don't see how we can make any more progress down this capitalistic road that we on now. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think the powers that be want any change because they still get money.
Yeah, they don't want.
It's just like the oil company, right?
Right.
As much as electric cars are capable of giving us clean air and helping with the pollution issue,
right?
They don't care. That's a loss of money.
Yeah,
they don't know what else to do with the oil. If it was something else to do with the oil, then it'll probably be 100% effort. But other than that, no, I'm not going. We're not going to let y'all sell these electric cars to everybody. So now the cars I had
don't mean nothing.
So,
and the 25 billion a year I've been making.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Doubles, triples.
Yeah, you right.
It ain't gonna work like that.
Yeah, I mean that's just like, you know, I guess that what we've been trying. Black folks been trying to tell black folks since the beginning. Like we can't play their game. We just got to just withdraw completely and just do what it is that we do and communicate how we communicate and spend how we spend.
How we work.
Playing their game ain't got us nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
So then it goes back to when it all changed. When we decided that equality was the main thing, right?
Right.
Not equity, not becoming independent, not developing your own way of doing things. You know what I'm saying? It was more about, okay, let us in.
Well, I think that was a dream that was sold to us, right? Like, don't y'all want to eat at these white restaurants? With us not knowing that, you know, white folks don't make good food. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So it was all bamboozlement, in my opinion. But yeah, it's horrible, bro. For them to be able to have martial law within 100 miles of the border, to me, it's just, that's a figment of our imagination. There's no stopping that from just continuing to carry out through the rest of the country or even the world.
What I think that gives people that's policing those areas,
right,
the ability to do what they want to do, or execute the plans that Trump have had in silent rooms.
True.
You feel me? Like he's probably told these folks, "Hey man, I'm gonna give y'all 100 miles within this area right here
to get me some work.
To don't let nobody in here, regardless of what it takes."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to wipe somebody's nose.
Go ahead,
go handle your business. You feel me? Like it's done. So
the main thing is they've been playing in our face for centuries, and they've been putting it in movies, television shows, all that shit. We ain't stupid. We are not stupid, bro. So the thing is, just a lot of people have to open their eyes and just realize that a lot of shit that you know, you don't really know.
Right. That's the reason why they put sports on it, you know, right after they try to give you Dateline information about, you know, what's going on in the world.
Right.
Switch it up real quick. Entertainment tonight.
Or they throw the important headlines in real small fine print going across the bottom of the screen, knowing you watching third and fourth.
It's like the side effects of some shit that you're going to take, and then they run the side effects real quick.
That's the worst about medicine. How was that? Come on, please. Like, that's the part that's going to hurt me.
Did you say internal diarrhea?
You feel me? Like,
say this shit going to make me want to cut my dick off.
Did you say death?
Like, like, what? A coma? Like,
that's ridiculous.
I'm good.
Right. I don't know.
I'd rather deal with the problem.
That might not heal me.
Exactly.
Right.
Deal with the problem.
That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. So, speaking of outlandish, diabolical work, the company Roomba is facing charges. Y'all familiar with Roombas? The
Yes,
little,
vacuum
yeah,
cleaner
the
that
little
go
self.
around your room.
Yeah. So apparently,
BBC.
the vacuum cleaner has been taking pictures of people during private moments and storing it to a individual private server. Somebody somewhere in the world hacked into that private server and then leaked all of those private pictures, that images and videos that was taken by the Roombas. So they are facing legal action. The company is facing legal action, even though they're saying that the devices took the pictures on their own. Uh, I mean, somebody else controlling the device to take the picture versus the device deciding, hey, I want to see this nigga's ass. Like, that's crazy to me, bro. Like, I don't need anybody with that kind of autonomy going on in the crib, man. So, vacuum cleaners, man.
Who's to say it's already not in your TV? It's already not
Or
in
on your phone.
Thank you. You already know where I'm going. Like, it's like, that's the crazy part. It's just that
Is it too late?
Been exposed. That's been exposed.
Is it too late to get away from Skynet?
Skynet is already here, and they put that in the movie.
Right, it's already
Stop
here.
playing with us.
You just said it. The first, it's starting with the transportation business,
Right.
you know,
Damn,
and
bro.
as they move forward, is a phase out, phase by phase, just one after another, one after another. It's really them trying to figure out how they use the fossil resources now. It's like
Facts.
you can't just X them out because they make so much money off of it.
Facts.
And these relationships are the foundation of the Congress, right? These are the same people like, hey, if you do this bill for me, I'll back in and give you a vote for this.
Right.
But if you X out, you feel what I'm saying? If you X out the whole Exxon 25 billion, you feel what I'm saying? Like, oh, bro, like these same people giving you 100 million on your, on your presidency, on your run. You feel what I'm saying? Contribution.
Snipers at you, boy.
Yeah.
Hey, man, come on, man. FDA.
They might not even send us that. They might send one of them. It's your
Right,
Man, come on, man.
Like that Swahili that got
I'm
me,
trying
bro.
to tell you, died from random occurrence.
So, speaking of rogue vacuum cleaners and martial law at the borders, we just got another report that the DEA seized 400 kilos of fentanyl and $4 million in cash in a multi-state sting, and everything is linked back to the cartels. Is there any surprise there?
I look at it like this, though. With all that being said, right?
Right.
No.
We don't have the technology to make this stuff.
No.
We don't even have the climate to grow this
like
stuff.
It's all coming from a higher power, and then watching stuff, a snowfall and the government involvement on everything is like, dude, you only reporting what y'all want to report,
right?
Yeah.
Because
you're only giving us a tidbit just to be happy about it when the real load just came in a couple 100 miles down the road.
Facts. Because if y'all gave up 400 keys of Fenty, that means they probably snuck 400,000.
Come on,
man.
In the whatever was coming.
Come on.
That's what they reporting.
And probably it was a whistleblower.
Right.
They got jammed. Somebody that went rogue and tried to do their own thing rather than paying your taxes.
Didn't get enough of the cut. You
ain't
check in.
You feel me? You ain't check in.
Telling.
You ain't come in and grease Uncle Sam like you supposed to.
Right, but JR, from all them documentary watching days we had in my crib, bro, like they said it, bro. The only time you catch stuff like this is when somebody didn't get paid.
Somebody didn't get paid right.
Right. Is it? Period.
That's crazy. So
I just believe that on all forms of whistleblowing. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody has dirt under their nails.
Facts.
Yeah.
The only time that it comes out in the light is when somebody decide I'm through. I don't want to do this anymore.
Right. Or you don't pay me enough to be quiet.
Right.
Either I'm scared.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's life threatening, and then there it is. Something happened and it changed, and now we're like, oh no, it was like that when they were involved. You know what I'm saying? They were getting money from the situation to even be involved.
Yeah.
Right.
From the beginning.
Speaking of crackers that been getting money for a long time,
long line.
Pontiac is making its long-awaited return to the car game. They're coming back in 2026 with 8 new models. 2 of the 8 include the Thunderbird and the G6. But it's been a 15-year hiatus for Pontiac, but they back with 8 new cars, man. So
that's all.
I was excited, but then at the same time, it's like shit. I can't afford none of that shit.
Nope.
So, you know what I'm saying?
I'm a Cadillac man anyway.
Right. As much as I want a G6 or a Thunderbird, I ain't finna get caught up in all that because I don't know, bro. Just like the more I wake up, the more I feel like the things I used to value are worthless. And having a G6 in the driveway versus having a A1 health bill, you know. It just don't give a fuck about that kind of shit no more. But I mean, congratulations to Pontiac. It was noteworthy enough to write it down. But I mean, are y'all excited for the return of the Thunderbird? Do y'all anticipate, fishtailing out the parking lot in one of them bitches?
I'm a Cadillac man, so
I feel you. I got the lack outside right now.
Yes,
I think it's just General Motors getting back to regular scheduled program.
True that.
You know, 15 years, it was a whole division that's been on the low, not doing nothing. Jobs lost. So shout out to everybody who get a job.
Definitely.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Hell yeah.
You know, I definitely would appreciate the fact that, especially if it's possibly that these things are made in the community.
Yes.
So now people are returning back to work, you know what I mean? Because when these plants closed, there's a lot of families that took L's.
Hello.
Facts.
They had to adapt to situations that they weren't prepared for. So hopefully at least Pontiac is taking this opportunity to include the community with this
oh no, we talking about autonomous warehouses. Ain't no niggas getting no jobs off this. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the only thing.
That shit don't help nobody.
And that's
this helps no one.
And that's why I say I'm
except for
like
the white folks who like to dangle like surface level change in your face, like we're bringing production back to the United States. We're bringing the automobile industry is getting revitalized, but at the same time, if it's not creating jobs. And the people who live near the spot can't afford to drive the vehicles. It's just more noise in an already oversaturated environment.
That's
in my
right.
opinion.
For people that don't know a little tidbit about Cadillac, Black people did save Cadillac. With us, Cadillac was basically they didn't make their cars very expensive like a lot of the other companies. So Black people were able to go out and buy Cadillacs, and we basically revitalized Cadillac themselves.
Yeah, my granddaddy worked for Capital Cadillac for like 50-some years as a mechanic.
Back in the warehouses, Black people worked. They were Cadillac employed Black people. They didn't mind having Black people as employees back in the day. Other warehouses,
and they would upgrade your lac. If you had a lac and there was a newer lac,
love Cadillac.
Come on, man. My granddaddy died driving
Look those stories up about Cadillac. If you watch collective content and you hearing this, definitely look that up.
So, are y'all familiar? I've been telling niggas I thought that the show Paradise and the show Silo was pretty good, but I just saw another report that confirmed that between 1998 and 2015, the United States spent $21 trillion on an underground city.
That's amazing.
I can believe it.
I can believe it too.
I mean, to me, I don't put nothing past nothing after COVID. Like I ain't gonna lie to you. Like I don't think that there's not a level that they're unwilling to go to preserve the objective. Right.
Yeah.
Right. But see, my thing is, when with Trump doing all these audits now and wondering where all this atrocious overspending is coming from, and them just telling us, we can't find the money or we don't know what happened to that. Like telling me that you built 170 cities underground with $21 trillion is a lot more acceptable than you telling me you don't know what the fuck happened to them 16% of them taxes that came out my check for all them years. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But knowing that there's an underground city that exists and knowing that I don't have an invitation to it kind of pisses me off. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
there are multiple.
Because what y'all know is coming that y'all need this much protection for that we don't even get a courtesy. We got to find out in the news y'all motherfuckers been building underground since 98.
Yeah.
And you finished 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, damn, that's crazy to me, bro. Like, my only thing is it'd be like, fuck the United States, but then at the same time, you leave the country, you risk catching a bomb from this motherfucker. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just like, you're damned if you do it, you're damned if you don't.
Go.
Right. It is what it is. I mean, they're only trying to save a certain amount to refurbish
right
the human race. So it only takes a certain amount.
Yeah.
So they're just looking at it
I
like
guess
that.
They got that sectioned off.
You know what I'm
already.
saying?
So
Like,
y'all are invited.
We only need certain bloodlines.
Yeah, fuck the rest of the
You know what I'm saying? And the rest of y'all, you know, if you do survive, okay, you're a survivor. If not,
over there.
Yeah.
That way.
R.I.P.
We'll holler at you. But on top of that, it was some folks out. Now, this is the Texas and Cali story. The folks out in Texas and folks out in Cali have been reporting that the rain is blue. And at first, I understand what niggas was talking about, but then I saw the video. It's like basically the white girl was out camping. Her tent is white. You understand what I'm saying? And however it was positioned on the ground, it started to gather up rainwater. And when she looked at the puddle that the rain had developed, it was blue. So then she took a bucket and collected all the rainwater, poured it inside of something transparent as this, and it came out blue like blue Kool-Aid or Hawaiian Punch. So, you know, what y'all think about the rain being blue?
Chemtrails. Yeah. Something they trying to. It's a test. Whatever it is, it's an experiment.
Fact.
And we're only lab rats.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's just an experiment to see how far they can push whatever threshold they're trying to push.
Yeah.
Now, some world-renowned scientists have come out because of the phenomenon that's been going on, and they said that it's a weather phenomenon called Omega Block, but I ain't never heard of none of that shit in my motherfucking life. All I know is crackers is saying the rain is blue, and if they rain blue, then I don't know. Then they like, well, don't let it touch your skin, but how do you not let rain touch your skin?
It's some shit that they trying to kill you.
But just think about it. Just think about it. Now that would be directly correlate to why they're building the underground thing. Like you said, that TV show. Now they sell you on this rain being potentially life-threatening. That thrusts everybody into a panic about living underground in these places and staying out of the sun. You know what I'm saying? And then my thing is, until I see trees falling and birds dying and animals laying on the ground, I'm all right.
Yeah, we good. It's like you said with the crackheads during COVID. They was outside.
Come on, man.
And they still outside.
Come on. Ain't got
nothing
damn
killing them is fentanyl.
Matter of fact, they went and got the Johnson & Johnson.
Right.
Feel me? They ain't even go get the real one. They went and got the Johnson & Johnson that came with a donut.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro. But yeah, blue rain, purple rain. Shout out to Prince, Lakers in 5.
That's it.
I mean, it just look like pawns on the chessboard. That's all it is. You know, until you can level up, it is what it is.
It's crazy though. Blue rain, bro. I just never would imagine.
Oh, they put that shit in Twisters. If you ain't see Twisters, they was shooting shit up in tornadoes and shit. Nigga chasing tornadoes, shooting shit up into the tornado, changing the weather, bro. That's if you never seen Twisters, watch Twisters.
Yeah.
These niggas been playing in your face for years. The original movie. Right? No. The Twisters that just came out.
Oh,
the latest Twisters that just came out.
I ain't seen it.
Watch the latest Twisters that just came out. That's the one I just motherfucking described to you. Go watch that one. These people been playing in your fucking face for years. Shit is in movies and TV show. Everything that we talking about is in movies and TV shows. Just look at it. Just pay attention when you watching shit. Just pay attention.
That's crazy. I was also just scrolling and I seen that China had this machine, right, where I guess a dude was finna get he was finna give blood. So he put his hand under the little machine. They turned on the light. It was like a square about that big of the back of his hand, but it lit up the inside of his hand. Showed the placement of all the veins, and it wasn't no guessing. It was just like, oh, there's the good vein, and then they poked them in it. And so it just reminded me that the United States ain't never did no shit like that.
No.
And they be guessing every motherfucking time these niggas be pricking my ass. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you know, that's the Asian way of precision.
Right.
When they do things. You know what I'm saying? Like they just don't waste a lot of movement. They don't waste a lot of time.
Right. It just reminded me how much America don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Because little simple solutions like that, like an X-ray vein finder, bro, that would be. I've been to the doctor and got poked 2 or 3 times because the bitch couldn't
malpractice,
find a vein.
bitch, malpractice.
Yeah, like damn. It's just I even saw rain absorbing concrete in China. You understand what I'm saying?
They different.
It could be a monsoon out there, but the ground will be dry and your car insurance will be intact. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
It's crazy. So it just reminds me, like, America seem like they want you to hustle backwards.
Yeah. It's a money hole.
Because insurance don't mean a motherfucking thing.
It's designed to only put you here for 50 years.
True that.
Facts.
True that.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. They make all the most poisonous
food,
degenerate, negative things cheap.
Come on, man. And our shit
and
outlaw
accessible.
in other countries and shit.
be cheap.
You know, all of it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's a diabolical place we live, but I mean, the land of the free, home of the brave, right?
Right.
That's it.
Right. So
it could be a lot worse.
It could
be hella worse. That's why I never complain.
Yeah, right. the earth could be flat. You know what I'm saying? I'm just playing. I don't give a fuck if it's flat or if it's round. Please don't come for me on that. Right. The last couple of things I got here. Okay, do y'all remember the white boy that shot up Donald Trump golf club? He got arrested for that shit. Nigga's name was Jonathan Audi. It happened like 2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically what happened was this guy claimed that when he got arrested, he claimed that he had more information that the feds would love to be privy to. And he basically blew the whistle on Diddy in that interrogation room 5 years before the footage was released of him beating up Cassie. He also claimed that while he was with Diddy, it was involuntarily. He was a sex slave. He was forced to fuck Cassie while Diddy would jack off and take business calls. And he was saying it was said that allegedly Diddy gave him herpes. And then he was after he contracted the herpes, he was forced to sign an NDA and was given $5 million. There's no confirmation of that outside of the fact that this same man owns about $3 million worth of property, which would explain, Diddy probably did give him $5 million for giving him herpes. But it's like every time it starts to look good for Diddy,
it looks bad.
It gets even worse. And it's like, I understand railroading a black man, but then I also understand dealing with your demons, bro. And it's just like, where does that leave y'all, like, feeling in this situation? Because it's like, if he didn't do none of this shit, then I don't want him to go to jail and none of that, because it ain't no law against being a freaky ass little boy. But then at the same time, bruh, so it's just too much shit in the air for you to be like 100% clean.
On the quest for power, there's going to be a lot of questionable decisions.
Facts.
And if you value power over these things, then that comes with the devil, right? You know what I'm saying? Like when you're doing it, your sole purpose is that gain, dividends, money.
Yeah,
that's the devil. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's his playground. So of course it's going to be things, situations, all type of things that will incur because you chose to praise the golden goat, right?
Facts.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is.
Describe that nigga to a T though. That's the crazy thing. It's like, man, I don't want to say that he, guilty, but I can't say he innocent either. So it's like
Lucius lying. Come on, man. That man went crazy, tried to sue Lee Daniels for basically putting his life on television.
That was the weird thing to me because he was like, they stole my lifeline or they using my lifestyle.
Hit dog holler, right?
Unless you out here killing niggas,
right. It wasn't he supposed, it wasn't he supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't his design. But guess what? It was his life. He did participate in things like that. You see what I'm saying? So
my thing is, I just saw something about the Oscar De La Hoya too. Being exposed, and one of those Diddy parties, he was dressed up in pantyhose and all this stuff, and he was saying that he got drugged and he didn't even know, but it was at a Diddy party, and it's like he didn't want to go through none of that. He didn't even want to be exposed like that, but it happened to him. I mean, at a Diddy party.
But even bigger, right? What about the Tommy Mottolas? What about the
Clive Owen,
Clive Davis?
See, now we going.
You know what I'm saying? Like
music.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you're going to sit here and point fingers at this man for what he did, it was a point that he was an intern.
Yeah.
So he was exposed to this environment and encouraged to be the pillar of the next generation being involved.
And he was dancing. That's the crazy thing. Like. How are other freaky men that had money were not turned on by this black man dancing in front of them? That's the other thing. I don't say that Diddy wasn't exposed to a lot of shit and probably went through a lot of shit himself.
Yeah.
So yeah, he probably did a lot of shit to other.
I mean, most 80s artists were dancers.
My thing is, at one point in time, we all knew what it was, and these rules were unwritten. And a lot of these times, I feel like people end up in these situations and they know exactly what
they
doing.
doing.
They know exactly who they doing it
Yes,
with,
sir.
and they know exactly how down in the dirt they gonna have to get what they want.
Yes, sir.
I just think that they don't ever plan on that day coming to light and them having to take accountability for their actions. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Yes,
So
I mean, it's your choice, though. You know, it's all about what you decide that fulfills you on your quest of your life, right?
Right.
What do you value the most?
That's right.
Is it the fame? Is it the fortune? Is it the peace? Is it the people? Is it the generational wealth? What is it that you value the most? And a lot of times when that finance is the number one, hey man, get ready. Cause the devil coming. The devil, that's his realm.
Yeah, I just watched the interview where Mike Tyson was giving the younger boxers some advice, and he was like, you know, recognize that what you're going through right now, winning all these fights, having these titles and shit, like you're one of God's favorites. But when you're favored by God, just understand you favored by the devil
as well.
You're his biggest target.
Come on. He coming for your ass too.
He wants you.
But Mike's whole thing was leave with the guy that brought you here. Yeah. Leave the party with the guy that brought you here. God brought you in this earth. Let God take you home from the party, bro. Don't show up to the party because God put you on this earth and then decide to leave with the devil. You're going to get fucked every time.
Yeah, you're going to end up returning to this motherfucker to live with the devil again, too. I don't want my soul to live like that. No.
And here we are in this world, right? Choice, right?
Right.
Thank God for choice.
Right.
Yeah. Because you have the option to figure this shit out.
Yeah, it's like Sugar Free said.
You know what I'm saying?
The same amount of time in the day,
bro. Like when that shit don't feel right, don't do it. Like just simple as that. If you walk in a room and it makes you feel uncomfortable, leave.
It's called discernment.
But see, it's not even that because I think a lot of the people, I will actually say, I feel like 98% of the people that are still in the room are there because they want to be there.
Facts.
That's facts.
Facts.
You understand what I'm saying?
Objective. Right.
Mm-hmm. And I think
it's a purpose.
I think it's the guarantee that nobody's going to know is why they feel free to be at liberty to do what they want to do.
That's true.
And I think, and that's the negative here again, technology rearing its head again, because none of this information, it's hearsay, she say,
right,
in years before technology, right?
Right.
Now we're in an era where information cannot be hidden.
No,
at all.
You know, if like you said, if it gets to a point where somebody feels slighted, the truth can be revealed at a lot of different levels
about anything.
You know what I'm saying?
So pull out their phone and expose.
You feel me? Like, you know, but at the same time, when there's that person that was involved responsible for what he was in.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Because you ultimately you decided to be there.
Right. And see, that's my thing.
Right.
If BKG Tony P got a reputation for just being a dick out in public, dog in the dirt, nasty ass nigga, and you heard that I was throwing a party that didn't start till 1, 2 in the morning, like what's going through your mind before you pull up to my party? Because I don't think I should get in trouble for being exactly who the fuck you knew I was.
I'm not ashamed.
And you came over here. You understand what I'm saying?
I feel that's a good example because you're not ashamed of who you are. So why are you here? Everything that I do ain't meant for you.
Or you go to a gathering, you sit down, you have a meeting with someone, and they tell you this is what you got to do to get from A to B. Are you willing to do X, Y, Z
to get from A to B?
Get from A to B.
Yeah.
And see, I think a lot of niggas be thinking they can weasel their way out, and then they find out there is no way out, and then we start dealing with shit like this.
Well, because they are ultimately the gatekeepers, right?
Right.
So they'll build you up just as fast as they can destroy you.
Facts. And then that's how you train your own.
Oh my God, you'll try to kill yourself because not to exist but don't exist at the same time.
Right.
To be on earth and accomplish so many things, to see so many heights, and then get brought back down and can't get back up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's damn near worse than ever experiencing in the first place.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? But these
they will take it all from you.
I'm trying. These are the different things that you deal with dealing with entertainment. Facts. You know what I mean? If you don't set your terms for what you're willing to do, like Terrence Howard, right? Terrence Howard is willing. He is willing to be the bad guy.
Right.
He's totally told everybody on every interview, bro, this is what happened. This is how it went. I was unwilling to do it. So therefore, they have put me in this position and are not giving me more opportunities because I was unwilling to do that. Like the Marvin Gaye story. Everybody wants to see a Marvin Gaye movie.
Right.
Yeah. But I understood where he was coming from. Like, man, I'm not kissing no dude regardless.
Yeah. I'm not doing that.
You can't just insinuate.
You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, as much as
yeah.
Marvin is, a part of Black culture, urban culture, R&B, like one of the kings of that shit, Mount Rushmore.
We should be able to pull off a movie about such a legend without having to go down that part of it.
But that's the part.
But guess what? That's the part that made him getting killed by his dad. It makes sense.
Yep. Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the only part. Other than that, it's a random occurrence, and him dad killing himself seems bad, right?
Yeah.
But if you interject that gives the LBGT community something to stand on and be like, this is why we do what we do, because this man decided to rob us of a generational talent because of his choices. Right. You know what I'm saying? Which in actuality we are all victim to our choices.
Yep.
Every choice you make, you are held accountable at some degree, whether it hurt you or it set you back, or you just had to maneuver differently than you was doing. There is a consequence for everything.
Facts.
So I mean,
the opposite action to every reaction.
Facts. I mean, it is.
And I guess the consequence for a faithful and good life is the delayed gratification of never having to deal with any of that.
Yeah.
Well, then you had to identify what gives you peace and what makes you happy.
Right.
Because once you decide that that's it, then it's just your loved ones you care about.
Right.
The outside world it doesn't even matter. You're disconnected. You don't care.
Yeah. Facts.
But when you worship these things we got in our hand, and a comment changes how you feel from somebody that is the least informed. And T.I. said it best. How do you give somebody that's least informed the most value?
Whew. That's a mouthful.
It's impossible.
Let me see that line in there.
It's impossible, bro. Like, why? How dare you sit there and just put so much pressure? I had to tell my daughter that all the time. Like, baby, I know you enjoy the social media and the kicking it, but you put too much value on 140 characters.
Facts. Yeah. That ain't gonna have no sway on your day.
Nothing. It shouldn't ever change you.
Right.
That's facts.
It should be just a penny in the whale.
That's facts.
You know, just another one. So I mean, it's different though. They're part of a different kind of situation because I mean, I would imagine, right, at our age group, it was important of homeroom and lunch with the opinion of others, right? Those are the only times where it really mattered.
That was our social
media. You see what I'm saying? That was it. That was the time where it mattered what everybody else thought. Other than that, you was happy in your own shell.
Facts.
You was happy being you. It didn't even matter what everybody else did unless you went in these rooms and you round these environments and they were different than what you were.
Well, see, the good thing about going to Stevenson, because we had an unfair reputation as a bunch of rich kids. Now, I will say that
y'all had garages. Kids with garages is rich.
We weren't fucking rich, nigga. I went to Latonia. We had a garage. No, we weren't fucking rich.
I mean, so you were considered middle class.
We ain't middle class. I'm from Marble Road. No, we ain't middle class neither. If you from Marble Road, you know what I'm talking about.
Right. The majority of.
Right. Either you was that middle class side with the money, or you was broke. So, and they mingled both of them in the midst of that school. So the one thing that I thank God for was I was never one of the niggas that had the newest Jordans, the newest Jabos, none of that shit, bro.
You on the Southland, nigga.
Right. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying, there was room for that because a lot of us didn't have all that shit. It wasn't that many niggas running around Stevenson that had all that shit. You know what I'm saying? It was a select few. So it just taught me to really pay attention to my own play. So it's just like, damn, bro, like you said, you can't put that much emphasis on 140 characters on people that don't know the daily ins and outs of what it takes to just be you. You know what I'm saying?
I think that parents put their children in those positions, right?
They do.
Because if you don't teach your child the value of what the hard work you had to go through to provide them for those things,
then they'll never
they'll just have expectations that are unrealistic.
Right. And then they'll have to learn the hard way or deal with a whole bunch of disappointment from a whole bunch of false expectations.
Come on, man.
But speaking of being you and doing what you do and doing it better than anybody else can do, I wanted to go ahead and shout out June 21st one more again for Ashtray Confessions 5. Goddamn.
Yes,
We
sir.
will have J.R. Ewing hitting the stage.
Me.
Chuck Tweezy
Yes,
hitting the
sir.
stage.
Tweezy.
We got Deuce
In the
Mino,
building.
Black Wind, King P, Ego World, Joint Dexter, Today, Windsor Jones, and a few others. So just know, June 21st, Ashtray Confessions 5 is going the fuck down. There will be no links, no QR codes, no nothing. It's only going to be available to pay at the door. We'll have a way for you to pay. And what I will say though is, in order for us to do the profit sharing the way that I want us to do the profit sharing, I need our fans to do y'all part. When you get to the door, I will have a QR code for you. All you got to do is scan that QR code and then put in the name of the artist that you came to see in the memos. We are tracking the artist ticket sales. So if your artist, if you came to see Ego or if you came to see Chuck Tweezy, I need you to put that in the memo when you pay at the door so they can get paid accordingly at the end of the night.
Bring gas.
Yes, and all artists who people don't put their name in a memo, I don't care if it's your first cousin or your wife. That money is coming back to the house. Make sure your people do what they're supposed to do. It's a call to action for a reason. June 21st, East Atlanta Treehouse, The Collective, Ashtray Confessions 5, man.
Bring gas.
JR, man.
Yeah.
I always asking you because I'd be excited to see your set. Your set's always my favorite set at the Ashtray Confessions. So I know you said you like to perform balcony, but you know the fan favorite is I Ain't Impressed. Are we going to be able to get any of the newer stuff at this Ashtray Confessions, like the Why You Run or the any of the stuff that we haven't heard from you yet? I know the catalog, you know what I'm saying?
I had a surprise for the show.
You got a surprise?
I was going to debut something.
Okay. Chuck Tweezy, what about you? We get some unreleased music, man?
Shit, pretty much all my shit is released that I'm gonna do. I got a couple of songs that I'm gonna do, but yeah, my shit. A lot of folks probably ain't really heard my shit. My shit is out there.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So I just wanted to keep y'all abreast. Want to let y'all know, go ahead and add a new event in your Google Calendar. Call that motherfucker Ashtray Confessions 5. Put it on June 21st. We'll see y'all at 9 p.m. And once again, I am BKG Tony P.
Chuck Tweezy in the building.
JRUN.
Yes, and this is collective_content with 2 Ks, not 2 Cs. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, motherfucker.
Yes, sir.
Let's get it.